Hi and welcome again to Diamond Works Medspa. We are looking at cellulite treatments. What is cellulite? How does it affect us? Why we don't like it? There's really no physiologic negative issue with cellulite. It's more psychological. Doesn't matter if you're thin, doesn't matter if you're under not thin, you're gonna have cellulite. 19 years old, you have cellulite. 55 years old, you have cellulite. So cellulite is one of those things that we learn to live with. We don't love it. We don't love to see it, but we know it's there. Do we like it in our pictures? Of course not. And that's why there's filters and ways of removing it. But now let's look at the physical and medical means of removing cellulite. What are the options? Previously, there have been injectable options to remove cellulite. We'll talk about cellulite and what it is. Imagine the surface of the skin and a nice ligament or band connected to the surface of the skin. When they pull this band down, it creates a dimple on the top. That is what cellulite does. So the more fat around this tension is going to create more fluffiness on the surface, creating a deeper dent. So the more weight you gain, the deeper those indentations go because those ligaments are not stretchable. They kind of stay put. So when you sit down, you're forcing the fat outward. And therefore, the band is not stretching outward. And so all of the skin goes in that direction. Again, there's nothing good or bad about cellulite. It exists. It's a genetic inheritance on almost every single woman. Some women have hundreds of dimples. Other women have one, maybe two. And we're going to look at how we're going to remove these dimples and the ligamentous bands tugging on that skin, creating the dimples. I have here with me Cody, who's joining me on this podcast. Cody,
yeah,
you have experience with some cellulite.
I do.
You do. Do you have some? Do you have a lot? Do you have?
I have. So it's only come within recent years, and I hate it because I think cellulite looks okay if you have like a thicker thighs or thicker butt. My legs are skinny, and I have cellulite with skinny legs, which I just think is stupid. I hate it.
Yeah. Do you know that the more muscle mass you have, the less of the cellulite you're going to have as well, because you're going to reduce the amount of fat on the surface.
I do notice that, like, when I work out, it does decrease it.
Absolutely.
It fills it in.
That's right. You're reducing that thick layer of fat just below the skin. You're reducing it. Therefore, the ligamentous band isn't tugging anymore because the pressure isn't pushing on, on the
I
skin.
feel like if you know, I've always wanted like thick thighs and like, then to me it kind of makes sense to have cellulite, but then to have like two skinny legs and dimples, I'm just like, this is stupid. Yeah. But so, I have it.
What are some of the treatments? Do you know any treatment for cellulite that you've have friends or family that has worked?
Well, you have given me a little Sculptra.
I've given you some stuff.
Because I had one really deep dimple that I've had since I was like...
Did it get better?
It did. It definitely got better.
100% or...
It got better and then it kind of came back.
Came back. Because Sculptra isn't forever.
Exactly. Yeah. And also I just stopped working out.
You stopped working out.
Yeah.
Did you gain weight? Did you lose weight?
No. I did gain a little bit of weight.
Okay. All right.
But I never gained weight in like that area.
So do you find yourself with a little bit of weight gain, you have more cellulite?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Because the places that I have cellulite are the places that I don't gain weight. Like, I don't gain weight in my legs.
Right.
I gain weight in my stomach and my face and my arms.
Does your significant one ever talk about cellulite on you?
Oh, God, no. Every man I've ever known, they're like, they could care less about it.
Absolutely. So men really, we don't really care.
Women care.
Women care. So a nice smooth leg is the magazine image that we're all used to. Yeah. So that's what every woman wants, that nice magazine. Now, some of the treatments for cellulite, there was a product called Quo. They were injectable products. Injectable products tend to destroy that ligament that's tugging on the skin.
Got it.
The problem is it doesn't only destroy the ligament, it destroys everything around. And therefore, there's severe bruising and swelling and tattooing of the surface of the skin, making it look like a permanent bruise. It's not permanent, but that bruise goes away in maybe 1 year for some individuals more than 1 year. So we don't want injectable, I call them fire bombs. We don't want injectable fire bombs to be injected on a cellulite to destroy the cellulite. It is a disaster. There was a product called Quo, QWO. It's not on the market anymore, I don't believe. Quo. And so then there's Selfina. Selfina is a device that actually enters the skin and it starts to cut everything in that region. I don't like that because what it does, again, it destroys everything in the vicinity. If you're destroying these ligaments, too many of them, guess what? Now your skin, you don't have the dimple, but now the skin is loose because this is severed. So once this is severed, now you're creating loose skin. That doesn't look good. I rather see someone with cellulite than loose, droopy skin that can be fixed. And that loose, droopy skin can occur from these massive cellulite treatments that are done. What's another option for cellulite we have? There's some RF devices that uses heat to reduce the appearance of the cellulite. Doesn't really work. So let's look at picture number 1. This image is of the fatty layer, the skin above, the ligamentous bands, and the muscle below. And we can see that there's a device that's cutting these ligamentous bands. These bands are what is causing the tugging on the skin, creating the dimple effect. This device is what is being used to sever the bands. Again, there's one device that's just on the market and it tends to do very well. We will get to that shortly. But let's look at picture number 2. What are we talking about when we look at cellulite? There are different types and forms of cellulite. There's the dimple, there's a circular dimple, and there's the wavy form. On the lateral thigh, you can see it's wavy. That's the wavy form of cellulite. That's where the bands are almost in a linear pattern, creating a linear indentation. And above, you can see on her leg, she has these 2 deep dimples on the outer lateral thigh. So this is where those independent singular bands are going to be. Picture number 3, we have a before and after image of cellulite, but these legs, the before picture is not a bad picture of legs.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
These are natural looking legs. The picture on the right is post treatment, and this tells me that there might be some doctoring that was done on this after picture.
Yeah, for sure. It looks slightly filtered.
Everything looks too perfect.
Yeah.
One red flag you should keep in mind is that any website you go to, if the before and after pictures look too perfect, it is not reality. Because nothing we do is that perfect.
It almost looks like she has, I remember my mom used to send me to the store to get her those nylons that came on the ball.
Absolutely, yes. So we go from cellulite to perfect smoothness, and the perfect smoothness looks ugly.
Yeah,
it doesn't look good at all. So the next image is this lady in a gray bikini and a black bikini. So here we have this one large dimple on the side of the thigh. So many women have this one deep dimple. That's what you have.
Yeah.
I see.
It's higher up, but it's just like this. It's weird. It's just the one.
Yeah. It's a very tight band that's attached to the skin and pulling that dimple in. So that is what we love to treat. Now we're looking at this commercial image, and it kind of shows you what before and after can be. The reality is, again, nothing will ever be this perfect. I do not like to use perfect commercial imagery for my patients. If I'm going to demonstrate or show, like in this podcast, I will definitely use it. But typically, or with my patients, I do not show them these pictures. I show them more realistic pictures. The next image, before and after, is a more realistic image of these legs. Now, her legs, how old do you think she looks? Picture
50s.
In the 50s, correct.
Yeah.
So if you can see the drooping of the skin, the sagginess. So this is more than cellulite.
This is the type of the treated side, where this is and the rippling of it is the type that I have coming in the back.
I see.
On my skin.
On the treated side.
On the treated side.
On the treated side.
Yeah.
So yours, because your skin is still young, it's still taut. Over time, if nothing is done, it would become like the before image on
and
this
full
one.
transparency, that's what my mom's legs
That's
look
what
like.
your mom's legs are.
Yeah.
There you go. So you can see the trend where things are going. I always tell my patients, look at your mom or the female side of your family. And whatever they have, more than likely you're going to have it if you are already carrying the phenotypical traits or the characteristics of whatever that family member has.
But working out does help, right? Like,
well, remember, working out reduces the fatty layer.
yeah.
That fatty layer is what is creating a deeper indentation, because the fatty layer is on the surrounding and it's pushing up against the skin. So working out, the more muscles you have in your legs, the less cellulite you're going to have.
Got it. Okay. So
Right?
building
Because
muscle.
cellulite is fatty compartment pressure pushing against the skin with a tethered ligament putting the skin inward. The next image, again, cellulite. No. So now let's look at the devices that we want to talk about. I like a device called Aveli, A-V-E-L-I. This is a device that can be used to non-surgically, but with precision, grab the ligamentous band, and cut the ligamentous band. Therefore, we're not destroying the surrounding tissue. We're not destroying the bands that are not causing the cellulite. We're only destroying those single bands that are causing the indentations of the legs. This device is not widely available. There's only a handful of practitioners that have this device, and for them, good luck. I think they're going to do very well if they can market this device well. So we actually, we will be getting this device shortly, and I'm going to start doing these treatments on my patients for the cellulite.
Amazing.
Nothing else really works.
That's good.
So this is a mechanical solution to a mechanical problem. We don't want to inject acids and liquids to destroy the leg. What we want is intact, firm legs without much dimpling. Thank you for watching the episode. If you think you have learned a lot from this cellulite, please enter your comments below. We will get back to you. We will answer these questions. And you never know, many times your questions will show up on our podcast. Hey guys, if you're enjoying these videos, take a look at my new book, The Lust for Medical Beauty. This has everything you need to know about the origins of facial beauty, where it can take you, and why we need so much more. So check out Amazon #1 bestseller. It's the only place you can get it now, The Lust for Medical Beauty.